Yo, 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 welcome in. Take notes, grab them pens. Welcome back to another episode of the Honorable Marvin Coop Show with the host, Chef Marv. No lie, I'm that guy. So it must be reunion week because Skip was on first take yesterday, and I got my brother who,
Welcome back
yeah,
to First Take, Skip, man, because
yeah,
they started all of this. Skip
yeah,
and Stephen A, they started all of it. So
yeah, and they was the reasons why me and Flex got into this because we knew more than them and our shit is actual facts. So listen here, shout out to them. But
in their defense,
it,
they can't cover every single team, you
yeah, they
know.
can't cover every single team. But this guy right here needs no introduction, man. This is we talked about it a few weeks ago when I saw him for my birthday. He said he wanted to get back, but I didn't believe him. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Then I seen him on, Tyrell's live. I was like, oh, he must be back. Okay, my man.
Mhm, mhm.
So let me properly do this. Mr. Ejflexxx.
What's going on, everybody? Happy to be back. Happy
Yes,
to be back with you,
sir.
Cuzzo.
Cuz, man, it's been
It's,
16 months.
yeah, it's been over a year. It's been a long time.
I missed you, man. So
Miss you too.
let's get back to this, man. It's NBA playoffs. How you
Mm-hmm.
feeling, and what direction is everybody these final 8 teams are going?
Um, as far as the Cavs, I'm not feeling that great.
You
Um,
don't feel comfortable with the guys right now?
hell no, hell no. They don't look like a okay. They don't look like a championship team. Even for a team to come
Mm,
out the East, they don't look like an Eastern Conference team, like a team that can represent the Eastern Conference. So,
damn. So what's the Cavs' problem that they
like
not looking like a team?
construction of the team, that's always been the problem. The problem is they've put more faith in players, role players. So, let take it back a little.
Hmm.
Every time I've gotten on with you, I've always complained about Kobe Altman, and pretty much every platform, every show I get on, I complain about him. The problem is the architect don't know how to construct a championship contending team.
Yeah.
He's always had an undersized basketball team in regards to the Cavs. So like, Colin Sexton and Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell, never really addressing the wing position. And when we talk basketball, what is the one position that is the most important position
The
in the
three.
NBA and the most difficult position to address?
Yeah.
The wing position. So if you don't make that priority number one, then you're not really gonna, make it far.
Right.
So we started off with Colin Sexton and Darius Garland, and his philosophy was he wanted to have two ball controlling guards, and
Yeah.
you can't really make it that far with such a small backcourt.
No.
So um and we tried the whole DeAndre Hunter experiment, started off pretty good, but we ended up finding out why Atlanta was so intrigued or eager to, let him go. He's got the size and the wingspan. He just don't have a dog in him. The confidence. And
Mm,
when it comes to the NBA, you got to have confidence. You got to
you
be able
do.
to believe in
I agree.
yourself.
I
That's the
agree.
difference between the greats and, the good players. So like you can have a size, you can have a wingspan, you can have the tools, you can have everything.
Hmm.
But if you don't have the confidence in yourself, if it's not clicking up here,
It's
you
not
don't
gonna
believe in
work.
yourself, it's not gonna work.
It's
Like you
not.
have to have that unrealistic confidence. Like, for example, players like we make fun of players like Patrick Beverly, Marcus Smart, and whatnot. Like they got that dog mentality. They feel
Yeah.
like they can go up against anybody.
True.
Patrick Beverly, I bet you if you talk to Patrick Beverly right now, he'd be like, man, I could take Kobe Bryant one on one.
Oh
You
yeah.
gotta, in order to be able to succeed in the NBA, you have to have that unrealistic, mindset. So, the problem is we got players that just, Evan Mobley, he got the tools, he got the
Hmm.
size, he just don't really believe in himself. He's always taking like a back step or
That's
a back door,
crazy.
like yeah, like but anyways, just the construction of the team, and relying on James Harden, somebody that's always shrunk in the playoffs. And mind you, I was a fan of the trade, not from the standpoint of being able to rely on him,
Yeah.
but just the durability factor and what he
Yeah.
can bring. He could bring more for Jared Allen. We saw that towards the end of the season.
Right.
Problem is, Jared Allen got hurt again, and Jared Allen and Evan Mobley are not the type of bigs that could back down the guards or even players smaller than them
Yeah.
and take advantage of mismatches like we see with other teams. So yeah, the Cavs, I mean, even if the series goes like 7 games, I don't see us getting out of the East. I don't see us making it to the next round. We're just gonna be eliminated. At the same time, I still agree with the trade. I think the trade was a good trade. You
Yeah.
get rid of Colin Sexton, Laurie Markkinen. You can make an argument about Laurie Markkinen, but Colin Sexton, when we drafted him, they were pushing him to be like this franchise player, but that's
Which
not
is
what he
not.
is. Yeah,
No, it's not.
he's a combo guard, he's a volume shooter. Combo guard, volume shooter. He didn't know if he was a point guard or a shooting guard. He's got the size of a point guard, but he's more of like a shooting guard. He don't know how to create and get others involved. So,
Yeah.
and now he coming off the bench. That's the
I
type of
can
player he is.
I can definitely agree with you that the Cavs' fatal flaw is definitely wing depth.
Yeah.
But as far as like the trade, like you said, turning Darius into James Harden, I think it just gave more size in the
Yeah,
backcourt,
absolutely.
in my opinion,
Hmm.
which should help them. I thought was going to help them during the postseason. But
Hmm.
the Cavaliers they just look like they hasn't addressed the lack of what starting caliber forward,
Hmm.
a big forward. Like you said, you got Harden, Donovan, Evan, and Jared Allen. It's great. Those are great names, people, by the way. But can you win a championship if you're the fifth guy?
Yeah.
You need that theoretical starter
Mhm.
at the three spot.
Yeah.
Dean Wade, I like him. I like the
Well,
kid. Jalen Tyson, Sam Merrill, Keon Ellis, and Max. I like
mhm.
all of them guys.
Max Strus is another good one, but again,
Yeah,
he's an undersized forward.
undersized forward.
Isaac Okoro, when we had him, undersized forward. He's not
Under
even like he's more of a shooting guard, if anything. And
True that.
that's just my opinion
No,
though.
that's true. You're right. Because you and I talked
Um,
over the years about that.
yeah. So like we in all these years, like for example, look how different this team would be if you had started the rebuild off of Shea or
Yeah.
off of Michael Porter. Don't get me wrong, Michael Porter Jr. is not a superstar. He's not he's not like a star, like top 10, top 15 player, but he's got the tools to be like a nice starting wing player. He helped contribute a
Hmm.
championship to Denver. Yes, it was built off of Jokic and Jamal Murray, but he played a key role. And imagine what we can do with that size right now.
Yeah.
That ability to play make off the dribble, to be able to create your own shot and whatnot. And man, we've seen what he can do, but needless to say, imagine us having Denny Avdia. I was big on Cam Reddish. I feel like Cam Reddish had the tools. He just up here. He lacked
Yeah.
confidence in himself and his ability. He showed, glimpses, and he showed, he had little moments where he showed that he could be that, but I just think he lacked the confidence in himself.
Yeah.
But like we've never really addressed the wing position. It's never been
Hmm.
like a priority. Not just that, but like when you have a player like Evan Mobley, I don't think you can combine you I don't necessarily believe that you can play Evan Mobley and Jared Allen together. You need another big that can space the floor. If you're going to
Yeah.
play Evan Mobley at the four, you need a center that can space the floor. Maybe what's the center that got traded to the Celtics? For that came from the Bulls, Vucevic.
No, yeah, the Collier, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he would have been a nice addition. Yeah, you would have took a step back defensively, but it would have gave us more floor spacing,
Hmm.
so and more offense. So I mean, and I think we struggle with our identity. We don't really have an identity because once James Harden came, the offense that we were running or how they wanted to create their offensive identity, it
Yeah.
changed because it turned into ISO James. So,
Right. I'm gonna say this too. I'm gonna disagree with y'all losing this series though. I think y'all playing the same team because you got the same type of coaching in JB. He can't
mhm,
get teams over the hump either. But Detroit also has a fatal flaw too because they're shooting. So they rolled to 60 wins on tough defense. That's all, in my
mhm,
honest opinion. They
Mhm.
got they top seed. I don't take nothing from them. But like the elite two-way play that's required from them, to win the Celebrity Bradley Trophy, gotta play both ways. I feel like Detroit really does struggle with the shooting.
Check this out, though. What
Hmm.
is the number one flaw that the Cavs have on defense? That's their number one flaw. We made the Raptors look like a legit shooting team.
That's crazy. I'm disappointed in that.
You see RJ Barrett,
Hmm.
Andrew Walters. How many points did he score the last three games of the series?
Yeah.
He was going off. Scotty Barnes, he was knocking down threes. He was shooting. Man, he looked like a sharpshooter playing against us. So we've
And he
all and
never
we've
looked like that in New York. Yeah, you're
yeah,
right. I'm
and we've
sorry.
and we've always struggled against perimeter deep. We've always struggled with perimeter defense. So uh, look at it this way: what
Hmm.
does Detroit have? What does New York have? What does OKC have? What does San Antonio have? What do they have? They have perimeter defense.
Shooters.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not shooters, but
But
perimeter
defense.
defense. Yes.
Right.
We don't have that. The only player that we could really rely on is like Keon Ellis. He's coming off the bench, and sometimes he's playing, sometimes he's not. Sam Merrill, he's average, above average with that, but he's not like a lockdown perimeter defender. You got the Lou Dortz, you got Stefan Castles, you got Asar Thompson. Like we don't really have like a lockdown defender that's playing legitimate time. We got Dean Wade. He's above average. He's a pretty actually Dean Wade. I give him credit, but you're not getting nothing offensively from him.
Mm,
Nothing. He's
mm,
scoring like 5 points, maybe three, and missing wide open shots. So
yeah.
that's the one thing that we don't have. And the thing that I like about Detroit is they have an identity. They know who they are and they stick with it. And they put pressure on you constantly. What did we struggle with against Indiana last year?
Pressure.
Pressure, perimeter defense. That's how they killed us. We couldn't get the ball past half court. That's why
Mm,
we lost game two because they couldn't get the ball past half court. Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, they got size, but they get out man. They get out hustled. They get out. They get pushed around real easily. Jared Allen can't even back down a shooting guard or point guard. Like
yeah.
just the simple things. So Detroit. Personally, I feel like we have the better players, the better roster.
Yeah.
However, Detroit, they know their identity. They know, like JB Bickerstaff, he was our head coach. He
Right.
knows the strengths and weaknesses of Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, and
Yeah.
whatnot. He knows what buttons to press, and the sad thing about it is like, you look at Evan Mobley in that Toronto Raptors game, he got severely outplayed by Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes was the best player in that series. You know who we
Hmm.
drafted? Oh, we drafted Evan Mobley over Scotty Barnes. It's little things like that. And if we're being honest, the only reason why we have made it as far as we have as an organization since LeBron left is because, like, that's it's really that Donovan Mitchell trade. He's the one that kind of like pushed us up there, and
Yeah.
um, he's the one that got us to the place where we are contending. They were hoping that Evan Mobley would evolve into like a Giannis type player, but
Mm.
but
Yeah.
that's scouting malpractice because if you look at him in college, he wasn't that type of player. He was more of like a defensive player with average to above average offense. But Scotty Barnes, like it I feel like that's what really changed the trajectory of the franchise is drafting Evan Mobley over Scotty Barnes. So, and the sad thing about it is they didn't even meet with Evan Mobley, talk to him, bring him in for a workout or anything during pre-draft season.
Wow.
At least that's what Chris Fedor reported. One of the reporters, he's real close to Kobe Altman. He's got inside sources and whatnot. So, they never met with him, never talked to him, and actually Evan Mobley's people told the Cavs not to draft him.
That's crazy.
Yep. So
So the series, you just think it's over with? Like you think it's going seven? Like what's your prediction on the series? I
I
know
say
it's
I say
2-0
seven.
now.
I say 6 or 7 games. I don't see the Cavs coming out of this. I just if you look at the way that they've played, even in the last series against Toronto, Like it went 7 games, and you had Brandon Ingram
Hurt.
missed the last. He was hurt. Emmanuel quickly was hurt the entire series, and they were still kicking our ass at times. Like even in
Mm,
Game 7, they was ahead. Game 6, they started off slow. Game 5, the Cavs started off slow. They was really putting it to the Cavs, man. Scotty Barnes, I would say the reason why we won Game 5 was because Brandon Ingram got hurt in the game and Scotty Barnes got hurt later on in the game.
yeah.
So technically, I don't even think we should have made it out of the first round. And imagine if Emmanuel quickly was there,
Yeah.
like, and you can make the argument like, oh, well, then that creates mismatches, but our bigs don't know how to they don't know how to take advantage of mismatches. So,
There's all type of mismatches in NBA, so
yeah.
they can kill that. I feel like Detroit can run out of gas.
The way that
Not
they
gonna lie
play,
to you. I
the way
think
that they play.
they could tire themselves out, which I've seen them do.
Mhm.
I've seen them win like 10 games straight and then lose like the next five.
But
And they also have a lot of red flags as well, because they 3-point percentage is not all that. I just feel like if Mitchell can go off and take over like he's the star of the team, I can see them still in the next four. I mean, some people can say no, some people can say I think he can. But I feel like they can really run out of gas with some
it,
losses.
if Mitchell was playing hard enough, he's not even playing that hard. Like there's a lot of possessions where I see him jogging
Yeah.
on the court. Like he's not even putting he looked like he's just going through the motions right now.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Like he got one step foot out the door. If I'm gonna be honest with you, like as a Cavs fan, you
Hmm.
never hope for your team to lose. However, it feels like a slow death.
Yeah.
It feels like a slow death that you just want to like just get it over with. Like the one thing that I don't want is for them to lie to themselves and move on to the next round so that Kobe Altman or whoever like is in charge trying to, whoever's in charge, because I know Dan Gilbert's kind of like taking a step back.
Yeah.
Kobe Altman's the team president right now, or the chief of operations. And then I can't remember who the new GM is. I don't want them to lie to themselves and say, okay, so we're close enough. All we got to do is make one more move and continue to trade future assets or trade, make a bad trade to try and get us to the next round, only for us to get knocked out in the second round next year. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I'd rather just, all right, we just take the L and we started over. We took some bad steps. We took some missteps towards the
Yeah.
rebuild to building a championship. Let's start it over. Let's get a new architect, somebody that actually knows what they're doing,
Mhm.
and that makes the wing position a priority. That's the most important position, man.
True that. Amen.
Look at the superstars in the league. You got Jalen
Tatum.
Brown, well Tatum, Jalen Brown's. He's a I wouldn't say he's a superstar, but he's a star. But imagine the difference that he'd make with this squad, though.
Yeah.
You gotta have guys like that. And we lack athleticism too. That's a big one.
Mhm.
Lack a lot. We lack athleticism.
I feel like the Cavs can win in
You think
7 or
so?
6.
We'll see.
I hope
We'll see.
so. I know they playing right now. I'm gonna check out the game later. Let's go to the Wolves and Spurs, which is another interesting series to me. What do you think about this series so far? 2-1.
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't really paid that much attention to it. However, I see the Spurs taking it only because of injuries, with Anthony Edwards and Dante DiVincenzo.
Yeah.
I know Edwards, he's been coming off the bench, um, but you're not getting him at 100%. And
No.
I think, me personally, I feel like it's best for the NBA if the Spurs make it to the next round, because you don't want a beat up Minnesota team, going to the Western Conference Finals,
No.
and it'll just be, OKC will just wipe them off the floor. As you can see, I ain't even giving the Lakers a chance. But
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
but I think, with Wembanyama, Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, I ain't even gonna include De'Aaron Fox. Like they traded for him, they wanted him to
Yeah.
be that vet, but I don't feel like
He's just a good locker room help. I ain't gonna lie
yeah,
to you.
yeah.
But even though it's like, I ain't gonna lie, it's been some games where it's like, damn, De'Aaron Fox just contributed to the win like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's just a locker room. Hey guys, get it together. You know what I'm saying? But the only
He's
thing
a
that
vet. Yeah.
scares me with the Spurs, cause is the inexperience.
Absolutely.
You know, the youthfulness. It has concerning, like to me, but it's led by a 22-year-old phenom. One of my
Hmm.
favorite players in Victor. I love it, but it's just like, damn.
One of the
This
best
is.
things about that is
Mhm.
sometimes young teams like that, they don't know any better.
Yeah. If the Spurs win, it's going to be the youngest team to win since the what 77 Trailblazers.
Yeah. And from a rating standpoint, also, what's the one team that gave OKC a lot of problems during the regular season?
The Spurs. But you want to know
Exactly.
what else I said too, cuz?
What's that?
If the Spurs was to make it to the finals, Detroit and the Knicks also gave the Spurs a run for their money during regular season too. But
Yeah.
I feel like if OKC, they're gonna run through anybody, man. If they
Yeah.
just straight make it to the West. But I don't know, man. Like I said, the only thing that scares me with that fatal flaw with them is the inexperience. But I feel like, with Victor, he works too hard. I feel like they can make it to the conference finals though. But then
Absolutely.
again, Ant-Man scares me too. He's a lethal shooter. He's a lethal person.
He is. When he's healthy, though, man, like that injury, that
Yeah.
was nasty. The fact that he came back as soon as
That's
he
what I
did,
said too though.
I was
Even
like, whoo,
even
superhuman.
with Cade, with that collapse lung at the beginning of
Yeah.
the playoffs, I'm like, you really about to play?
Yeah.
That's what makes me think that they can run out of gas without him. I don't know. Speaking of, you said the Lakers, OKC and
We ain't
Lakers.
even talk. Listen, OKC they play on different rules. We already know they got, the NBA in their
Yeah,
pockets or whatnot. So we ain't even got to discuss that series. All we know is that LeBron ain't gonna be there next year. He gonna be elsewhere, either retired or with another team. And
do y'all get y'all solid three if he goes to another if he leaves the
man,
Lakers?
to be honest with you, like LeBron coming back will remind me of like the 2004 Lakers.
Pretty much.
Karl
That's it.
Malone, Gary
Gary
Payton, and
Payton,
Kobe.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's nasty. That was
and
nasty work.
I,
And Carl Malone for ruining that for us too. Couldn't 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 keep up with Rasheed Wallace. Come on, man.
well, if you remember, Karl Malone got hurt. You know, it wasn't
Yeah, there
until
was a
he
lot of
got hurt
personal
that
stuff too. There was a
yeah,
lot of
that
personal shit.
yeah, Karl
Uh,
Malone, he a little wackadoo. So
he definitely is. I can't stand Carl Malone, man. Or as my man JC say, pedal low. Shout out to JC, man, for putting that still in my head. Yeah, and at first I was like, with J Dub's health, I'm like, damn, this OKC ready, but they showing, hey, we got you, man. Stay get healthy first, and then we'll see you in the finals.
yeah.
But yeah, it's just looking too one sided with Luca on the bench.
It ain't much. It's ain't nothing the Lakers can do. It's like the fact, even with Luca, I don't think it would be, like a legit contest. Mainly because Luca don't play defense. He bring offense, but
Yes,
he don't play no defense. So, and you
this
gotta
is.
have defense. You gotta have defense in the playoffs. Defense wins championships. So
I couldn't agree with you more. So yeah, I think they can go up with 3-0. Lakers could steal maybe one,
maybe
and that's
one.
it. I feel like that's it for them, guys.
Yeah.
Who else we got?
And
Knicks.
then
Oh,
we got the
Knicks.
Knicks.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I thought that the 76ers can win one at least. This was crazy. No, here's the thing. Like last night, I'm like, okay, that's they won. But then I'm like, they just shut down.
You see the picture of Mitchell Robinson dunking on Joel Embiid?
Yes, I loved every minute of that too. So you think the
That's
Knicks can sweep 4-0 sweep?
yeah, absolutely.
I think
Absolutely.
trying to be professional. I think them bums can still win.
Only reason why I I don't believe in Joel Embiid
No, I don't either.
to be able to like he doesn't know how to win.
No, he
Like
don't. No, he don't. He's a crybaby too.
he don't know how to win. He don't know how to lead a team. You got
Yeah,
Tyrese Maxey, who you got Paul George, who's not a leader. Joel Embiid's not a leader. They don't really have like a legit leader in the locker
yeah.
room. They got talent, but they don't have a
One
leader.
what scares me about us though, because we got one-way stars.
Y'all got one-way stars.
Yeah.
However, I think with the injury of OG, they
Yeah,
can still win, but the Knicks are still taking the series.
yeah. And I
If we
like
being
Jordan Clarkson's defense too.
Yeah, the if we're being honest, OG is the second best player on the Knicks, in my opinion. When you make him a priority in the offense,
All right.
like he he brings another level to the Knicks defensively and offensively. When you make him a
Hmm.
priority on the offense, he's
Yeah,
he's unstoppable,
I agree with
completely
you.
unstoppable.
I agree.
But with him going out with the hammy, and that's the one concern with him is he's always had these soft tissue injuries, even going back to Toronto.
Because he's soft as shit.
But he built like a linebacker, dude, man. Like,
I see.
but
Yeah,
that's what I like about the Knicks is they got like Jalen Brunson who turns it on in the playoffs. He's a walking bucket. You got Mikal Bridges. He stepped up in the absence of OG, and he can score, but he's not somebody that you want to rely on. He's just a simple role player. He plays his role,
yeah,
and you got OG, lockdown defender. Mikal Bridges can be a lockdown defender, brings a lot of pressure on defense. Like y'all got a nice setup. Cat, I think is like a third. He's a third. Like
yeah.
he bring you some offense, but he's not reliable. Like
That's what I'm saying. I mean, like I said, because Jalen is one of the toughest stars of this generation. I get it. And
absolutely,
you know, pound for pound, I give him that. He's dope. But you know, and Carl Thomas, he's definitely one of the most, let me say this, like underrated with his combination of skills and size.
absolutely.
But here's the thing, like I said, but with New York's two best players and most important offensive talents are both defensive liabilities, in my opinion.
Who's
Can
that?
any team survive
You mean
4 rounds?
You mean
Yeah,
Brunson and Towns?
can any team survive 4 rounds of playoff basketball under like the circumstances of only like one-sided stars? That's all I'm really saying. I mean, don't get me wrong, I feel like we're winning against a wounded 76ers. And like I said, Joel's soft. And the first round, the Hawks was just too damn young. You know what I'm saying? But don't get me wrong, that's gonna be a scary ass team in the future. If they build some pieces around Jalen Johnson, that team could be scary. But
I think you can take advantage of Jalen Brunson's size. So let's just
yeah,
hypothetically speaking, OKC against New York. You can take advantage of Jalen
yeah.
Brunson's size.
Hmm.
However, even though Cat has his downfalls defensively, you still got Mitchell Robb.
Yeah.
His issue is the hack a Mitch,
Yeah, Hacker Mitch can't shoot a damn free throw.
I
When he when he
see what you're
missed them two
saying.
free throws yesterday, I was like, damn, Shaq. I'm like,
How you
come
getting
on.
paid millions of dollars? You can't hit
And you
free
can't hit a
throws.
damn free throw, man. I just like I said, it just worries me sometimes.
I get you.
You know, I want to go to the finals. It would be a dream come true if we go to the finals. But at the end of the day, I gotta be realistic, man. That shit scares me.
Yep. I see the Knicks going to the finals coming out of the East. I don't see
I
Detroit
don't, yeah.
beating the Knicks
Mm.
because
Ooh.
the Knicks, they
It's
can,
not over with though.
it's not over with.
I see
You
Cleveland
see
and Knicks.
Cleveland. I don't see it. I
I see
don't.
Cleveland and Knicks, man. Because you know why? This is gonna give us more material in the future.
Hell no.
Yes.
Just give
Yes.
us, man, Detroit, just put us down, man. Oh, Yeller, take us back to the barn. Just
Hell no,
take us out,
Detroit.
man.
Look here. Look here. Look. Fuck Detroit.
I don't want them lying to themselves, man. Because what that's gonna do is gonna cause problems in the long run for us. And I don't want to continue to watch this every single year.
I feel you.
We've been watching the same shit coming out of the Cavs for the last 4 seasons. And Kobe Altman and whoever running
It's like
shit back, they've been running shit back each and every
they
year and just talking about this is the core four, this is the core four. Man, you've been lying to yourself. Like,
it's
come on, man.
insane, cuz that is insane.
It is literally the definition of insanity, doing the same shit over and over, expecting different results. And they've been doing that. Like, I just take us out, take us out so we can make changes because changes need to be made. That's why, see, that's why off the rip, they traded Darius Garland because it was
Yeah.
word coming out that Donovan Mitchell was not, promised to re-sign. And I'm happy he
Mm.
did that. I'm happy he did that. I'm happy his agent was like, listen, ain't no promise that he gonna resign. Like, yeah, we haven't done shit.
So, okay, so you got Knicks winning. You got Detroit. You got Knicks in Detroit. Then you
Mhm.
got OKC and Spurs.
Yeah,
So you want to do a prediction of the next of those four, final four?
sure, let's do it.
All right. So if you say okay, let's say OKC and Spurs. Who
I
you
mean, but
got in
should we
that?
do that? Should we do that though? Because
Nah, you
like
don't
you
want to
said, the
jinx.
round ain't over. Yeah, we won't jinx it.
I feel
So
you.
the
I
round ain't
feel you.
over.
Like I said, I'm telling you, I think it's gonna be Knicks and the Cavs.
We'll see.
I
We'll
got a
see.
real feeling, man. I got a
And
real feeling.
I question Kenny Atkinson too, as a
Shoot,
head
but
coach.
here's the thing:
He been doing some stupid shit.
we question JB. Like you said, he only got one advantage. Is that's because he knows his whole team. But don't forget, he's driving this car. This Detroit car can run out of gas and break the fuck down. That's all I'm saying. Because, like I
Cade,
said, you
man.
said the same thing my dad said. He said JB knows the weakness of the Cavs, and he like them said them four players and a couple of players on the bench. I get that, but like I said, JB is not his father now. That motherfucker has some serious talent with the Cavs and still fucking choked. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like, what's the difference? You just in a different city.
Okay, but here's the thing now. Yes, we struggled when JB was here,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm one of the people that was blaming JB. However, since JB left, those same problems
That's still
are
there.
still there. So we can't put it on JB if those problems are still there with a new coach, with a new voice.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Not just that, but JB in his first season with Detroit, a team that what
Yeah.
ended up losing 20 some games in a row, broke the NBA record, and
Mm-hmm.
was in the lottery the following season. They bring him in, he automatically changes the culture, and they go to the playoffs. His first season there as the head coach.
Yeah. He
The
did
one
that.
thing that Detroit do have that we don't have is a superstar.
I get it.
Cade Cunningham is different.
But that superstar is wounded right now.
Is he though?
The first couple games, that's what I'm saying. It looked
Is he
bad.
though? Well, he's historically he struggled against Dean Wade in that matchup.
Yeah.
That match historically he has always struggled going against Dean Wade. But what
Mm-hmm.
he has done throughout the playoffs so far is when his team needs him, he turns it up an extra notch and reaches a whole
Mm-hmm.
nother level. Something that we haven't seen out of Donovan, something that we haven't seen out of James Harden, something we haven't seen out of any Cavs player. That's the one thing that they got. They got a superstar that can take it to another level when their team need them. Game one, game was close towards the end. You had three possessions in a row where it was
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Duren and Cade Cunningham. That it was over after that. Cavs couldn't do anything. Game two, same thing. You even got Tobias Harris stepping up. Granted, the games have been in Detroit. They've been at home. Road players play better away than at
Yeah.
home. However, Tobias Harris has been consistent this entire playoffs. He's been one of the surprise factors for Detroit. They know their identity. They know their role. Our guys, they don't really know their role. Not just that, but the chemistry also. We led the league in, I want to say, starting rotations with like 40 plus. We have 40 plus starting rotations this season, regular season. So there's a lack of chemistry between James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, and whoever else is, starting, whether it's Dean Wade, Max Strus. There's a lack of chemistry there too. Detroit, they've played with each other throughout the entire season. That same lineup. They know exactly what their role is. They know exactly where to be, how to play, what to do. They know, it's on a whole nother level. When you can play fast and you don't have to think, Everything is just automatic, and that's exactly how they play.
Yeah.
The Cavs play and short themselves. That's the only thing. That's the only thing. And they got a superstar. So not the only thing, but that's another thing to add to it. So I get your confidence and in the Cavs. And to be honest with you, if I'm you, I don't want the Cavs to make it to another round because the Cavs are able to exploit the New York Knicks weaknesses in a way that other teams can't, especially with the pick and roll. Because like you said, Cat, he's not very good defensively and he struggles mightily with the pick and roll. And we're able to unlock Jared Allen to where he can be more consistently productive playing against the Knicks compared
Yeah.
to other teams that have elite perimeter defenders and elite, post defenders. So it's not a good matchup for New York. It would be better for New York to play Detroit in the next round compared to playing the Cavs. Now, there's not a guarantee that the Cavs will win, but just the matchup is a bad matchup for New York.
Mm.
And like another thing, like you talked about Jalen Brunson that y'all don't have an Asar Thompson, also with like an injured OG Anunoby,
Yeah.
like y'all not gonna be able to stop Donovan Mitchell and James Harden. Like James Harden, he's had good playoff performances. It's just when things get when the pressure starts to build up, that's when he starts to get in his head and he starts to overthink. He doesn't play freely. But going against New York, he's not gonna have that pressure that Asar Thompson brings, or
Yeah.
like Asar Thompson, he's been an animal, man. Another one, what's his name? Jamal Sneed or whatever his name is from
Yeah.
Toronto. He was another one. Y'all don't have that. Like OG, they'll be able to create mismatches with OG and Mikal Bridges. But the biggest thing is that pick and roll with Jared Allen and James Harden. That's the one thing the Knicks won't be able to stop. And we kind of saw that in the regular season, towards the end of the season, when Cleveland played against New York. We kind of saw that. Mitchell Robb, again, he's a liability on offense. But yeah, I feel like if Knicks fans, y'all want Detroit to beat the Cavs due to mismatches or
I
due
think
to a
we ready.
mismatch.
We ready for whatever. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, just play some good basketball. Just don't make it look one-sided like this damn OKC versus Lakers.
Yeah,
I love a good series. Hell, I don't mind game sevens.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
interesting to me. I love that shit.
yeah.
But let me ask you something.
What's up?
Skip Bayless was on First Take yesterday, right?
Uh-huh.
How do you feel about him putting LeBron as number nine all time? He had MJ, he had Magic, he had Shaq, he had Kareem, he had Tim Duncan, he had Bill Russell, Kobe, Bird, LeBron, then who was his number 10? Wilt.
Well,
Yeah.
okay.
We all know that's his opinion.
Yeah.
But I feel like putting LeBron on the number nine in the top 10 list of all time is diabolical, insane to the membrane.
Um, I haven't taken a lot of time to even think about where I would put LeBron as far as like top 10, top 20 of all time.
Yeah,
I will say this, when it comes to LeBron, context matters. Context is very important with him and where he
yeah.
plays or where he's placed.
Hmm.
Um, However, I give him a plus in terms of his longevity to be
Most
able to
definitely.
play as
Yeah,
long as he had, whether it involves steroids or not. That's up for anybody to say. You can say the same thing with Michael Jordan. There's speculation with that
yeah,
as well. But I will say, as far as his longevity, to be able to do what he's doing at his age is remarkable. The fact that he beat Houston, and, was able to take a beat up Lakers team
yeah.
to the second round past Houston the way that he did. Because if we look last year with Ime Udoka and what he did with that Houston Rockets team, it was simply remarkable with how well, they
Yeah.
played. I know their biggest weakness is that they didn't really have a point guard to be able to take that offense or create offense and
Yeah,
take
that
the offense
was
to another level. But um, I mean, if I'm gonna make a top 10 list, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna put anybody in a specific order because I feel like what that does is when you having a conversation about it, it takes away it's it kind of feels like you're downplaying another player's or another athlete's
What
role.
they done, yeah, what they
Yeah,
done
like
to
his
live.
accomplishment or role in the NBA.
Yeah,
And I think that's the one change that we have to make when it comes to talking about the GOAT list or the top 10, top five of overall. I
yeah,
think why don't we just have a discussion of, okay, who do you think are the best 5 or 10 players that have played in the NBA in no specific order? So that way you're not degrading another player just to put somebody on top of another. Pause. So um I respect Skip Bayless putting LeBron in the top 10, not just for the fact that just simply for the fact that we know Skip Bayless is a LeBron hater,
yeah.
and I'm not a fan of LeBron either. But when it comes to LeBron, I agree with him being in like the top 10 in his top 10 list. But context with LeBron is really important because if we're being honest, I feel like LeBron could have won more championships had he not tried to control the narrative all the time, had he not tried to control how his pathway, had he just simply relied on not relied on the organization but had confidence in the organization to be able to build around him you know
Yeah.
so I mean, it is what it is. I feel like, in terms of going to Miami, that was the right choice. Coming back to Cleveland, that was the right choice. But you should have stayed in Cleveland because, we could have brought more talent to help you had you not ran to LA. It was the fact that you were planning on going to LA is the reason why we decided not to mortgage more of the future to bring in more talent. We didn't want to leave ourselves in a position to not be able to compete or not be able to rebuild,
Yeah.
you know. So but yeah, I feel like LeBron deserves to be in the top 10. I'm not gonna put an order whether he's one, two, or three. I will say Kobe and Michael for me, top five,
No, most
and
definitely.
my favorites of all time.
Yeah, those are definitely in any of my top 10 conversations. I don't care whether it's favorites or all time. Because,
Hmm.
and like I also tell people too, with the it's also with the generation as well.
Yeah.
Because if you ask the generation, some people would say KD, Steph, and them. It all
Hmm.
depends on who you watch.
Yeah.
You know
Exactly.
what I mean? Like I said, all time. Yeah, we all know MJ is the greatest to ever
Hmm.
touch the court.
Hmm.
But like I tell people all the time, I didn't see MJ. Kobe is the reason why I started watching basketball.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why I was like, I gotta put Kobe. He's my number one. He's like my GOAT. He's my hero.
Absolutely.
So I definitely get what you're saying. And like you said, as far and like
Hmm.
I said, and you said something perfectly. To him, that's important
Hmm.
where you put him at.
Hmm.
I mean, as long as you're in the top 10 conversation, just be happy with that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Stop being
Yeah.
such a diva about everything. You over here causing all this conversation and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
I just thought it was funny that he even put him in the top 10. Like I said, he deserves to be in the top 10, but like
Absolutely.
nine, I was like, Shaq? No, bro. It's like Shaq's a
Hmm.
dominant guy, but I wouldn't put him. Wow.
There's so many different there's so many different you gotta when you talk about your top 10 list,
Yeah,
what are you basing it off of?
that's real.
Like, what is more important to you in terms of the conversation? Is it how you succeeded in your career, the accolades? Is it were you able to change the face of the NBA, a la Steph Curry?
Mm-hmm.
He legit changed, the way the NBA is played.
True.
So it's like, what are you basing it off of? For me, it was not only talent, not only was it's not just talent, it's not just your accolades, it's not just accomplishments, it's the mentality that you had.
Right.
With Michael, he didn't give a fuck. He was like, I'm gonna destroy all y'all, you know?
Mm-hmm. That's yeah.
I
He
ain't
wanted
going.
to be, yeah, he
I ain't
wanted to,
running. I ain't about to play with Magic. I ain't about to play with Bird. I'm about to demolish y'all. I'm not playing with Barkley. I'm gonna demolish you. You know, I'm not
yeah,
playing with. I'm not playing with any of y'all. Like for
facts,
me, it was
facts.
mentality. Kobe, yes, he came out. He wanted to trade because the Lakers had fucking Smush Parker and some bums, you know, on the squad. However, once they got him some talent, he was like, "All right, I can do something with this." And what did he do? He took Lamar Odom, Paul Gasol, you know, Andrew Bynum. Look at where Andrew Bynum ended up being. Like he took those guys and he was able to accomplish something, you know,
Yeah,
with that Trevor Ariza. Like Kobe was a dog mentality. He was like, I'm not about to join you. He had a chance to join Tracy McGrady, have Tracy McGrady play with him, but he said, nah, I don't want to play with you. I want to beat you. That's what I'm talking about.
exactly,
LeBron, he was, I want to play with you. I want to
exactly.
team up with you. I want to do this. I need help. I need help. For me, it's the mentality. So that plays a big role in it.
Facts.
So it all depends on, you know, what you base it off of,
Let me ask you one question, then we'll get up out of here.
for sure.
What would be scarier? Wemby with Kyrie handles, Giannis with Steph's 3-point shot, Shaq with Jokic passing, or LeBron with Curry shooting, which is pretty much the same thing. Or Kawhi with Ja Morant's bounce, Jokic with Giannis's athleticism, Luca with De'Aaron Fox speed, or Katie with Zion's strength.
Ooh.
Four tough questions. What would be scarier in the NBA?
Would you say Jokic with whose athleticism?
Jokic with Giannis's athleticism, uh, Kawhi with John Morant's bounce, Luca with De'Aaron Fox speed, KD with Zion's strength, Wimpy with Kyrie's handles, Giannis with Steph's 3-point shot, and pretty much LeBron with Curry's shooting, and Shaq with Jokic passing.
I'm gonna say Jokic with Giannis's athleticism.
That'd be sick, bro.
I'm gonna say Jokic
You gonna say Jokic?
because he can already do everything. You add some extra athleticism. Remember, with that athleticism, he's able to create his own baskets, play defense. You know, Giannis is not, he's not like a elite defender, but he can
Yeah,
play some defense. You
that's
know,
true.
that's the one thing that Jokic hasn't perfected or isn't that great at, you know, doing is defense. But offensively, he can do it all. You add that extra athleticism, ooh, sick.
I'm gonna say Luca with De'Aaron Fox speed.
Oh, you think so?
Imagine if he had that speed getting up and down that court. Might even, develop and playing some defense a little bit, man. He could get,
Hmm.
like I said, he could get back up that court so fast. I would definitely say,
But defense is a mentality thing. Defense is a want to thing, you know.
I get it, I get it, but I don't know, man. I just thought that was an
You should have
interesting.
added. You should have added. You should have did Doncic with Asar Thompson's athleticism. Not Asar, but
Hey,
what?
man,
Yeah,
I'm in. Yeah,
Amen Thompson's athleticism. That's what you should have did.
I should have.
You should have made that a category.
Don't worry. Look, we still got some time. We still got some time. So, like, okay, another question. Whose legacy will be hurt most by the lack of rings? Is it James Harden, CP3, Westbrook, or Melo?
James Harden, CP3,
Westbrook or Melo?
Westbrook, or Melo.
Like, whose legacy will be hurt most by the lack of rings?
I want to say Harden.
You think so?
Yeah, only because of his accolades. He's gonna go down in the history books as one of the most prolific offensive point guards of all time. And at
Mm,
one point was able to just carry a team. Him and Chris Paul went toe to toe with Golden State with KD on the squad.
mhm.
Went 7 games. I'm gonna say Harden because of where he's gonna end at, where he's gonna end in terms of like accolades and record books, and on the record book.
Because all of them got records, right?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say all of them. Where's Chris Paul? Like if we look at
Like
all-time
top
scoring,
assists. Like I think he's up there like with assists and stuff like
assists,
that, pretty
yeah.
much. And Westbrook, he got the most triple doubles,
Hmm.
and he got an MVP. Melo, like he finally in the top 10 of scoring. But yeah, I would have to agree with you with the Harden. I would agree with you Harden.
Because the
I'm not
one
gonna lie,
thing,
all four of them. It's like, damn, they didn't win the ring with the shit they had and what they did for the teams, especially when Melo came to New York.
mhm. And when you talk about Harden, the first thing you think of is his failures in the playoffs.
Yes.
That's the first thing you think about. Carmelo, you don't really think about that. You think about him as an elite scorer. Chris Paul, he's had his opportunities.
Yeah.
Um,
Few opportunities.
I mean, you can think about Chris Paul's failures. His problem was he would always, whenever his team needed him, he'd get
He's
hurt.
hurt.
Um, Westbrook, you think about the stats, the statistics with him, but
That's
was he
it.
a winning player though? He
Nah.
wasn't really a winning player. But you think the first thing you think about with Harden is his failures in the playoffs and all the opportunities he's had. So I'm gonna say Harden.
I agree. I agree, cuz it's just sad. There.
So all right, so for the next round, you got it being Cleveland and New York and San Antonio and OKC.
Yeah, I got OKC Spurs and New York versus Cleveland.
Okay. All right. So for me, I got Detroit, New York, and I got San Antonio, OKC.
All right. Well, this is fun, man. I
Absolutely.
I definitely hope this is not the last time, especially in the year,
Nah,
motherfucker.
nah, it's not the last time. It's not the last time.
Fans, welcome back, Flex, man.
Yes, glad to be back. Glad to be back.
Welcome back, Flex, man.
Shit, if you want to, we can plan it out right now. When you want to record again, we do it on the camera. I'm a man of my word.
Balls.
Pause. I'm gonna walk that back real quick. We can schedule. We can schedule our next podcast
Well, I got it in text message. You said every other Saturday, right?
every other Saturday. Yeah,
So not next Saturday, the following Saturday.
we can do that.
All right. I'm with it.
I prefer to do it, when I don't have my kids because they be all over the place and
Hey, listen here. Lily has been a part of the No Big Deal branch since she was a baby.
I know,
So listen here.
I
We
know.
had a segment every week after the football show. Lily Pick'em.
I know.
So
Are you smarter than
are you
a
smarter than a
three?
5-year-old?
Yeah,
3-year-old, yes.
3 year.
So now we got nephew in the mix too. We got to put him in the mix some damn way.
Yeah.
He probably it's probably a good thing that channel did get hacked. He gonna look like, hey, like what about me? That's crazy, man. Well, cuz, listen, man, I love you. I appreciate you.
Love you too,
You
cuz.
have words can't describe, man, how much you mean to me, and I appreciate this. The chemistry is back,
For
man.
sure.
So I can't wait to keep going forward with you, man. So listen,
Same here.
we out, y'all. Love, peace, happiness, and all that good shit. So
Absolutely.
be easy, be breezy. Go Cavs, go Knicks. Whatever, yeah, whatever. Yeah, Lakers, whatever. Do something.
Thank you for
Eh,
watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes, like, comment, subscribe, share, everything. And,
Yes.
shout out to We the Colony. So, we there. Peace.
Peace.